This is a turbofan, and it's called a high bypass turbofan. And the front of it basically operates like a propeller. And much of the air that's sucked in through the high bypass turbofan goes around the outside of the hot section of the engine, and the center part goes through the combustion chamber where air is mixed with fuel. But by having a high bypass, you have more efficient power than just a pure jet, where all the air goes through the hot section of the engine. And the hot section is behind this wider part. The silver part, that is where the combustion chamber is, and there's more turbine blades, rotor blades in there. It then goes into the combustion chamber, ignites the fuel, and this is where some of the air bypasses from the turbofan at the front end of the engine. Mm-hmm. And then the hot gases exit here at the back, and that's your propulsion.
That's the crew compartment?
Evidently. Wow.
There we go.
Way more advanced.
Oh, yeah.
Is going to be this brown part right here. That is actually the only part of the rocket that the astronauts stay in. It requires about 2 minutes, which takes about 76 hours, so a little over 3 days. That they're all cramped and going ahead and it takes over. Now stage 2 gets out of low Earth orbit and the rest of the rocket into space. Now this stage of the rocket does burn for about 2 minutes, and then after that its job is over. So it does break off as well, letting stage 3 take over and do its thing. Now, do I have any people from around here from Houston, Texas? No? Any people from out of town? No? Okay, so if you're not from here, you may not know how our Houston, Texas weather is.
So then going to go to national, can I guess? I didn't think it's space. Oh, really?
Yeah, I like Canada Space.
Kennedy's really nice. Well, it was been forever since I've been there.
So you can show Hannah. Here, you use my phone because I have more space.
Well, I was visiting my dad. Because my dad, so I just lost my mom too. And they're bringing me in 2 months ago. And my dad got diagnosed.
There it goes. Give me your milk. All right, obviously.
And gentlemen, welcome to the International Space Station. We've been expecting you. My name's Reba, and today I'll be your mission briefing officer, your MBO. My goal here today is to offer you the most realistic space station experience possible. You know, without all the training, or the expensive ride of the SpaceX Dragon, or all the discomfort that comes along with microgravity, which makes you feel weightless. So aside from never really leaving Earth, the next 20 minutes will be as authentic as possible. The space station is actually an orbiting laboratory from which we learn from almost every single thing that goes on board. As we travel 240 miles above the Earth's surface, we are conducting experiments that can only be done in reduced gravity. We learn every day how to live in a closed environment of space, as well as work on projects that have immediate application back on Earth, as well as pushing us forward towards a lunar research center. Brave men and women have been doing this important work in space for nearly 20 years. That's right. People have been living and working in space for almost 2 decades. That's longer than some of you have even been alive. Sounds a little crazy, right? Sounds a little bit like science fiction, but it's not. This is real. Earlier today, I was working on some cellular experimentation over in the medical lab. Back on Earth, cells and bacteria cannot grow very long, grow very large, or live very long, because eventually, gravity will cause them to be crushed by their own weight. But take gravity away and see what happens. Without gravity, cells are able to grow larger, live longer, and grow in 3 dimensions. This is a huge medical breakthrough. Because of this, our scientists are able to better study life on a cellular level. Experiments done in microgravity can help us back on Earth by helping cure diseases, better understanding genetics, and even improving organ transplantation. Before that, I was working on a new alloy. An alloy is a blend of 2 metals. This alloy, however, can only be made in space. Mixing large amounts of lead into tin on Earth is nearly impossible because lead is so much heavier than the tin. The lead will sink to the bottom while the tin rises to the top. They do not mix, kind of like oil and water. They take gravity away and see what happens. Without gravity, they mix easily to form a new alloy that can be used in all kinds of electronic parts, such as for your cell phone or even your laptop. It's very useful and it can't be made on Earth. These are just some of the many important things we're working on at an International Space Station. But it is time for the most important part of my day, lunch. So, what do you guys think we eat on the space station? Any guesses? Well, does anyone have a favorite food? Shout it out. What's your favorite food? Octopus. Octopus? All right. Ooh, anyone else like octopus? Yeah. Anyone else have a favorite food? Shout out your favorite foods. Okay, octopus, pizza. Whatever your favorite food is, we have it on the space station.
What?
The truth is, our astronauts and cosmonauts are offered an extensive menu full of tasty foods and beverages.
I didn't know
including
that.
octopus or pizza or whatever else you want. In order to make the food lighter and increase the shelf life, much of the food is dehydrated, meaning that all the water is taken out. So, in order to make your favorite meals, all you have to do is add water. That's it. Even I can make that. You may notice that there are no cups or plates anywhere. Why do you think that is? Why would we not need cups or plates? Shout it out.
Because there's no gravity in space.
There's no gravity. Remember that we're in microgravity. So if I were to set a table full of cups and plates, they would all just float away. So instead, all of our food comes in these handy little pouches. These pouches are especially convenient because they come with a Velcro strap on the back. There's also Velcro all over the station. So if you're ever in a rush, you can just slap it against the wall or even against your own clothes. Pretty convenient, right? Now that's efficient. So you're all having a wonderful lunch.
stabilizer tank to make that engine work. And when the spider-like blades necessary for a lunar landing are added, you have 11 feet of descent stage, something to get you to the moon. The ascent stage has other requirements, room for 2 astronauts, and the means to control their environment.
And they use Apollo command modules to ferry out to the station.
Had solar panels. Trade spaces.